full speed on a high climb. Let's now show the way rather than the speedometer. Okay, let's have some fun. It feels quite good, even though that the terrain is quite stony and bad, and it has very good acceleration. It goes to 40 kilometers per hour. It says it has about 60 to 70 kilometers autonomy. If you drive constant speed, about 25-30, it will do that, but wait, this part is horrible. It has some comfort to it, but still you will feel everything. Full gas. Something I like about this scooter is that it has quite the power. It has a good acceleration, it has a good kick from zero. The comfort is nice, but I would expect more, especially because it says it has front and back suspension, but the back suspension, like I said in my first video, is quite obsolete. I have emailed the manufacturers of A-wheels and they have told me that it's meant to be like that. The back suspension is meant to be hard, which I think it's, I don't know. There is 2 springs on it, just like the cheaper models, and in the cheaper models, in the Pro V2, the back suspension works like a dream. It absorbs very nicely, feels like a motorbike. But for some reason on this one there is 2 springs, but really it's so hard, like stone. But yeah, I don't know. Moi. The front suspension in the other hand is quite nice. I try to keep my weight about halfway or a bit more behind the halfway, and that way it feels comfortable to ride. There is traction, the kicks are nicely absorbed, but if you are too much in the front, this I don't think it's as comfortable. The handlebar height is very nice. It's higher than the cheaper versions. It's comfortable, but the accelerator button, I had to recalibrate it because it was so straight that after driving for 10 minutes you will start getting cramps and your finger will hurt. And I have let other people test drive it and they all complain about the same. But all you need is a little alien key, and from under you can loosen it up and put it to your liking, like I have it now. So it's like half away and it's much easier and nicer. The top speed it's 40. Of course, I never trust speedometers, but I have tested it with GPS and it's really 40. Even goes to 41 if you have a little, like going downwards, you will hit 41, which is nice. I have to remind you that of course that's illegal, and I try to avoid it on the open road if I see that could be police, because you will get a ticket and they will take your scooter away if it goes over 25. In Finland at the moment, anything that goes over 25 or weighs over 25 kilos, it's illegal unless you buy an insurance for it. And I have asked my insurance companies for an insurance, which is, they told me something that I find very stupid. So they told me if it goes over 25 you need an insurance, but that they don't make insurance if it goes over 25. So why would I make an insurance to a scooter that goes only 25 if it's not like by the law? And then the stupidest thing was that, don't ask me how, but it was 500 euros per year, and I have maximum bonus, which is 70%, and the scooter itself costed like 400 euros. So I don't know. I don't think they are thinking things straight at this point. Of course, you can also limit it, this one, with the different modes. The first mode goes to, I think it was 15, the second one goes to 18, and then you have the sport mode, which I have now, it goes to 40. I also haven't taken away the air brakes so that the battery lasts longer, so you don't have to be constantly hitting the gas. This part is very bad. It absorbs the quicks nicely. I like this front suspension, but I try not to put too much stress into the handlebar because it's where they all break, because it's holding all your weight and all the kicks. There is nothing stopping it, and those joints, this is aluminium if I'm not wrong, and the joints will snap or they will start getting loosened over time, and then it's pretty much trash. At that point it's unfixable and warranty won't cover it. Okay, a little climb here, let's see how it does. It's very powerful, very nice. And now we have a straight line. Let's make a 0 to 40 so you can see. Okay. Yep, and there you have it. Let's now try this little hill The wheels are quite nice, they are quite wide and they are high. They are 10.5 inch if I remember well, and the thickness I think it was 2.6 or something. I cannot remember at the moment. I haven't driven it for like 1 month or even 1.5 months. I haven't driven, but it's quite good for the price. I bought this for almost 800 euros, and at the moment it was in sale, but at the moment apparently it's not in sale anymore, and it went back to the original price, which is 1,200 if I'm not mistaken. Now, when I bought it for 700 in my first video, I have said good things, bad things. I said that the price was worthy. I mean, for 700 euros there is nothing else in the market that it's any better. Mostly it's just worse, especially the battery capacity. They're all much less, and they all go to 25, and this is like the only one that goes to 40, especially at this price range, because you don't want a very cheap one like 300 euros with 20 kilometers autonomy and no suspensions and only goes to 25, but neither you want those crazy ones that cost like 2,000 euros, because for that price I recommend you getting an electric bike or something. I don't think these things are worth 2,000 euros. They don't have the mechanics, they don't have the materials. It's just getting advantage of people. So it drives very nice on these like stony roads. Not too big stones here, but you don't feel much. I mean, if you compare it to a bicycle or a car or a motorbike, of course, but for something as cheap as this, it's quite nice. Try to avoid the big holes, of course. I am driving the air, how can I say, the air wheels, like not the anti-puncture. The anti-puncture have the benefit of being anti-puncture, but they are very hard, and you will feel all the tiny vibrations of the road, and it doesn't absorb impacts that good. I have the other scooter with that wheels. Of course, you have the benefit of knowing nothing will happen to you, but the comfort is not so nice. With these wheels are much better. As you can see, the scooter is now 120 kilometers, and I've been driving mostly on stony roads. And I said in my first video that the brakes were quite a shame, and I have to say the same. The back brake works quite nice, but I guess it's because, well, my weight is on the front, but the front brake is horrible. It takes quite much to brake. I understand it's quite small and it's just a cable brake. It's not hydraulic or anything, but it really doesn't help much. If that will make a scooter cost 200-300 euros more, I would say it's not worth it all. Something I like about this scooter is that the floor, the bed of it, it's quite wide, so like I'm driving now with 2 feet next to each other. So if you're gonna do a long drive or just any kind of drive, I think it's very nice and comfortable. You don't have to be with 1 foot front and another back, because that quite makes you lose the stability and the control. And like this, at any time, if something happens, I can always jump. Or I many times don't use the handlebar to turn, just with your feet pressing to one side or another, like now, you see. I do like this, and you can pretty much drive. This has a nice stability, but I don't know why you can't drive this with one wheel, with one hand, sorry. Anytime I take one hand off, right away it starts shaking, like if I was going super fast. I haven't noticed this with my other scooter. Many people even go like on the phone, which I don't recommend, but this one, the moment you take one hand away, right away it starts shaking, and yeah, might not end well. Okay, let's do my favorite path. This path takes about, I think, about 20 minutes. It's 9 kilometers long, and it's almost 90%, I would say, of gravel and stones. We'll go next to the beach. I chose now in the morning so that I don't record people. I don't find that nice. People should have their privacies. I'm not very much doing videos. I'm just doing this so that people willing to buy this scooter or any scooter can see that this is a nice scooter for the price. I don't know about 1,200 euros now, but for the 700 that I bought it, it's totally worth it. I will have bought two because I drive with my girlfriend, but I already had bought another one, so that's how it's gonna be now. Okay, let's have some fun and drive quicker. I like speed, so that's the reason I wanted the 40 kilometers one. And even at 40 in this kind of roads, this scooter drives very nicely. It feels good. Okay, like I was saying, I didn't want to record people. Especially I live in Finland, and Finnish people are shy, and well, that's not nice. So I chose to do this video right when I woke up at 8 in the morning, so that like that there is less people here. Of course there is the morning walkers, but then it's easier to drive without people feeling that I'm gonna drive over them or recording people while they are enjoying their evening. Something I like is the cruise control. As you can see, it takes I think 5 seconds, and then you can just let it go, and you can put it as low as, I think it was 10 kilometers per hour. So when you're driving on dirt and you're not very confident, or it's a path with a lot of change, then it's nice. Today is a nice weather day, so I thought it's perfect. I have got the phone holder already like 2 weeks ago, but I've been busy and the weather hasn't been so nice. But this morning I saw, and it was gonna be sunny, so I thought it's the perfect time for this video. As you can see, it has a good acceleration. And because most scooters and electric bikes only go to 25, I know I can overpass them without an issue. I'm surprised there is that many people outside today. It's quite early. I already saw 3 of my neighbors that I rarely see. This is a nice hill. It shows it has power. Okay, now the road should be better, no big stones. But this is an area that there is always a lot of people because it's next to the principal beach. So I will try to respect the people and drive slowly, even though I never put them in danger. But people assume that if they see you coming fast, you're gonna drive over them, because unfortunately there is many kids with these things and they don't understand any kind of rules, I guess. Okay, let me see now. Kiitos. As you can see, I know the phone shakes, but even at 40 it's quite comfortable. And there is a good grip to it, and they are white tires, so even with these like sandy stones, I don't lose control or anything. Here we are in the most visited place of the town. Let me show you some views in case you're not from Finland. This is what Finland most has to offer. Nice forest and lakes which you can enjoy. Let these birdies rest. Let's not annoy them. Let them do their business like we do ours. Okay, so now we're gonna go. It's like more forest. It's like a forest, it's a nice place. It's very known for walkers. I myself go jogging a couple times a week, and I choose always this path that I'm showing you today. I normally do the short version, which is about 8 kilometers, but if you would count it totally, I think it's over 15. Let's go from that side. Now this stone road, you can really feel how the suspension is not helping you. Okay. As you can see, I try to take all the off-road roads. I know this is not meant for off-road. Theoretically, it's not meant for anything. It's meant to you use it where you want it. Now, of course, using it off-road, it's gonna last less because of all the impacts and vibrations. But you are supposed to enjoy life, so I bought it especially for these paths. I have an electric bike and I use it all the time on these roads, and I think it's the funniest part. We are now in the back part of Olvi factory, which is a big manufacturer of beer and water and sodas, very known in Finland. So this place, it's always getting new updates because it's like the expensiviest area around. So that's why it has so nice parks and views. And all the time there is so many walkers, and of course not at this time, even though we have found some, but during the day, even in winter, it's a choice for people. As you can see, we have sandy roads, and the scooter still handles very nicely. Doesn't get stuck, I don't lose control because of the wide tires. And also they're quite high, 10.5 inch. That makes you don't feel all the little bumpy or get stuck. Like I said, it's a nice scooter for 700 euros. As you can see, I don't lose control even in this sand. I like the grips, they are these ergonomic grips. They really help you staying on the bike. Unlike the normal ones that are just circle, these have like these bumps, which are very nice for comfort and handling. And they're made of a material that doesn't make you sweaty, unlike the cheaper versions. They are so thin that after a few minutes my hand knuckles start cramping and hurting. And I'm not that old, but yeah. I think this scooter was made for being like the big entrance to the market. Some companies sometimes, like Samsung and so on, they make things cheaper than average so that people get to know them, and after that you stay as a loyal customer. And I have bought 2 of these scooters so far, and I know people choose them because here where I live there is so many. People choose them because of their long-range batteries. Even if it's not the long-range version, they still have always like 40 kilometers, which average they have always like 20 to 30. Then their unlimited speeds, which for many people it's a plus. And they look nice, they really care for the looks. Though I have to say, on this scooter I was pretty sad about the lighting. Especially the front light, it's quite useless. It's just to be seen, but you don't see anything. And the cheaper version, the V2 Pro, has a very strong halogen, LED bullite light, which is it's even stronger than my motorbike. And I thought these will be the same, but nope. I don't know why would they not. If it meant to be 20 euros more, then I will gladly pay 20 euros more in the final price, because now I have to keep a light with me, and these handlebars are so thick and they don't even have space to put any. So I have to put a headlight, which is okay, but yeah. I think this, if they make a next version like they did with the Pro, I think they should improve the front braking. I don't know if they cannot make it any better, just then bigger disc, or I don't know, something. Because that's mostly why I bought this, was because it has 2 brakes, and in the end they are pretty useless. and the front lighting. They should put the same as the V2 Pro or something better at least. For the rest, I think it's a nice scooter, especially for the price. All the others in this range, like with front suspension and brakes and power and long range and stuff, they are all over 1,000 euros. And I know that this now, it's again, original price is 1,200. So then I don't know if you should choose this one over the other ones. You need to see. I know there is this company called Nordscott, if I'm not wrong, and they have quite nice scooters too. As you may know, I do this for the people, so I'm not gonna try to sell you this scooter. I'm not getting anything from anyone. This is me just making videos to show people what you're getting. I'm quite happy with it, but at that price of 1,200 now, I don't know if there is other better options. Back to asphalt. You see the back brake right away, it kicks in, like you feel it braking, but the front brake is like, I don't know, it helps, but I know that people teach you shouldn't brake with the front brake, but I guess it depends the person. I, for example, learned, and I use it because I drive motorbikes, I use 70% the front brake and about 30% the back one, because you need to know, of course, when to use it. You cannot in every condition, but normally front brake should be stronger than the back brake, because the back brake, it gets to the point that all you do is block the wheel and then you start drifting and you lose control. But the front brake, if you hold your handlebar steady like this, it can help you stop. Just don't try to block the wheel, because if you do, then it's even worse than losing control from the back wheel. But that's about choices and experience, and everybody has their own, and everybody should learn what's more comfortable for them. But I really wish the front brake was any better. Okay, now we are going back from where we came. I'm going towards home. I think this has been a long ride enough. I think I will take the asphalt to make it faster, because I think you have seen enough of the off-road. So let's get the espresso away. As you can see, we still have 3 out of 4 battery bars. I have made a picture when I left home. I had 114 kilometers, I think, and it was 100% battery. So I will take another picture once I get home, so that you can understand with this kind of driving, which is a lot of acceleration and hills, how much you will spend. When I drive like this, normally the battery lasts me about 40 kilometers. I don't think it lasts longer than that. But it's understandable, because I'm constantly going from 10 to 40 to 30. So quite obvious. There is a market right now, so there is people around. I think, yeah, it's how you say, used items market. It's very common in Finland. I usually don't buy anything used unless it's like these little scooters or cars or stuff. But you can find some old items, and some people don't know what they have, and you can make good deals if you know the right person. Okay, I think I should go. Yep, this is the typical Finnish person who don't understand about zebra paths because they never stop. One time I even stopped for old persons and they even honked me, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? It shows how much they don't know about. And it's not one. If I made a video driving around in the city for 1 hour, you will see. And this right now, it's a walking and cycling path, so theoretically I'm not the one who has to stop. Of course, in the normal zebra paths you're supposed to go out of your bike if you want priority, but not here. But okay, no big deal. So this path, it's a lot of roads like this, like USA style. If I took the other way, it will be the main way, it will be faster. But let's take this one for now. Okay. It has very nice acceleration. I like it very much. I need to be careful with all these streets because, as you know, people don't stop. And I rather get home later than get home in a wheelchair. There has been many accidents lately with these scooters, especially kids or teenagers to call them, and they are putting many laws against these little electric scooters. There has been kids even dying because they are overdriven, because they don't understand about zebra paths and red lights. But I think they shouldn't make these scooters guilty. It should be their parents or their teachers who don't put sense into their head. But instead, at least here in Finland, they are trying to get rid of these scooters. They have got rid in many cities already, these rental ones, and they made so many rules that it's not even worth it anymore. We had a company in this city before, and they left because it was pretty much a useless investment, because they made so many rules to it that the only people who were driving were adults, but adults have their own vehicles in small cities like this. I think in the city there is more students and people who choose not to have things, but not here. These roads are so fucking bad. That's why I bought this one with the suspension. All this asphalt has cracks, and out of nowhere you have some stone road from some repair they did, and they didn't put asphalt or something. Fucking horrible. What I try to do to avoid the bumps, it's like now, like, but I'm afraid the phone will fly. It's that you put your weight in the back and like lift so that the front wheel doesn't take the kick. And then it's just the back wheel who gets the kick, which is not too bad. They are meant for that, especially these that are so hard. Okay, let's turn here. This is the same way that we came, which is pretty straightforward to my home. And then you just let go, and you have the cruise control, which is quite nice. You can just relax your hands. If I take off my hand right away, you see it starts shaking. Very stable at 40s if you have two hands. I mean, we all have two hands, but two hands in the handlebar. La 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 la. So to stop the cruise control, all you have to do is to press the brakes, any of them, or the gas. I press the gas because the brakes, the thing doesn't stop the cruise control until you hit them hard. Sometimes, well, to save battery, and because that's like to save brakes, that's how I do with all my vehicles. If I see I'm gonna stop, I just stop accelerating before. No point of getting fast there and then waste brake pads. But like I said, you have to hit the brakes quite hard, like halfway, and then it's you're gonna brake faster than you wanted. New road feels so good. You don't feel any vibrations or anything, which means the scooter has a good comfort. Just a shame the back suspension is pretty useless. But it makes you less bumpy, so I guess it's better for asphalt, which these are meant for city anyways. But if you go off-roading or a very bad asphalt like the one we just came from, with all those cracks and missing asphalt and stuff, you really wish you had a back suspension then. Okay, now we slow down here because these people don't wait from the left. But it's not to worry because this has enough power. Of course you have the battery issue every time you have to stop and go, but it's not a problem. So yeah, it's a nice scooter, especially for the price. I wish the lights and the brakes were better. Some things that you should do when you buy it, I would say it's the gas accelerator thingy. There is a bolt down. You should make it, because it comes like straight, so you need to be like that, and then your hand starts hurting. So if you put it like halfway like that, it's more comfortable, because when you drive it's like that, and then you notice this, and then you have cruise control anyways. And I like to put my brakes lower, because if you're driving like this also is not very comfortable, so I put them low, but that's a personal choice. Because in my motorbikes and bikes I always have them that way. I feel it more comfortable, but that's up to you. Also, I recommend when you accelerate, like, try to use your legs, your body weight, so you don't hold to the handlebar. And when you brake, the same. You can even put like a feet back when you accelerate and a feet to the front when you brake, so you do less stress to the handlebar and make it last longer. This thing should be built to last, and I mean this one is very thick, especially if you compare it to the V2 Pro. But anyways, if you want it to last longer, why not? Here we are. Oh. And there we go. Okay. It looks good. Thank you for watching.